70 targets, 60 seconds, a bridge gone, a region cut off. The sky turns into a stopwatch as strikes hit operational infrastructure, but homes fall too. Diplomacy whispers, explosions answer louder. In this race between firepower and talks, who decides what stops first? The bombs or the war itself? The Israel Defense Forces says it carried out a rapid, high-intensity strike on alleged Hezbollah infrastructure in southern Lebanon, targeting dozens of sites within seconds. Footage released by the military shows multiple buildings in the Aainata neighborhood engulfed in flames before collapsing, as airstrikes hit what Israel described as operational infrastructure. According to the IDF, around 70 targets were struck in just 1 minute during the operation, with weapons also seized. However, local media and Lebanese sources reported that the strikes impacted residential areas near Bint Jbeil Governmental Hospital, raising concerns about civilian safety. Separately, the national news agency reported that Israeli airstrikes destroyed the Qasmiyeh Bridge over the Litani River, described as the last link between southern Lebanon and the rest of the country.
Enemy aircraft carried out 2 consecutive strikes on the Qasmiyeh Bridge, the last bridge between the Tyre and Sidon regions, completely destroying it.
Lebanese officials told Reuters the strike shattered the bridge, leaving no possibility of repair and further isolating the south. Lebanon's health ministry, cited by Arabic media, reported at least 11 fatalities, including women and children, along with multiple injuries from recent strikes. The escalation comes despite a fragile ceasefire framework involving the US, Israel, and Iran, though its applicability to Lebanon remains disputed. Diplomatic efforts continue in parallel. Donald Trump announced potential direct talks between Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Lebanese President Joseph Aoun.
Trying to get a little breathing room between Israel and Lebanon. It has been a long time since the two leaders have spoken, like 34 years. It will happen tomorrow. Nice.
While Trump did not explicitly name the two participants in the slated conversation, it is assumed that he was referring to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Aoun. Security Cabinet member and Innovation, Science and Technology Minister Ghila Gamliel told Army Radio on Thursday morning that Netanyahu and Aoun will hold direct talks. But Lebanese officials, cited by Agence France Presse and Reuters, said they had no knowledge of such talks, highlighting ongoing diplomatic uncertainty. According to Press TV, Aoun has told US Secretary of State Marco Rubio that he would not be speaking with Netanyahu. With high-intensity strikes, collapsing infrastructure, and uncertain diplomacy unfolding simultaneously, the Lebanon front is entering a volatile phase, where escalation on the ground may outpace efforts to contain it at the negotiating table. Five Israeli soldiers were wounded, one critically, in a Hezbollah rocket strike in southern Lebanon on April 15th, as the resistance group carried out one of its most operationally dense days since fighting escalated. Hezbollah logged 65 operations that day across two fronts, 25 inside Israeli-held territory and 40 within Lebanon itself, reaching 15 kilometers deep into Israeli lines. The group struck 3 bases and barracks, hit 19 cities and settlements, and claimed to have repelled 36 Israeli ground advances. 2 tanks and a bulldozer were among the losses it reported on the Israeli side, alongside 20 fortifications, 16 settlement units, and 5 artillery positions. Among the day's strikes, Hezbollah confirmed a direct guided missile hit on an Israeli Merkava tank on the northeastern outskirts of Bint Jbeil, releasing footage of its fighters targeting Israeli troops gathered in the area. The group also published a video of its fighters deploying an M46 130mm artillery cannon against Kiryat Shmona. The Soviet-era towed piece is not new to Hezbollah's arsenal. Several were acquired by the group during the Syrian civil war. But its appearance on camera was a deliberate signal of reach and capability. Weapons used across the day's operations included 51 rocket salvos, 7 drones and quadcopters, 4 artillery shells, 1 guided missile, and 4 air defense deployments. Even as the fighting continued, Netanyahu's security cabinet convened the same night to weigh a proposed 1-week ceasefire, reportedly pushed by Washington. The meeting ended without a decision. A senior Israeli political source told Channel 12 the pressure was becoming hard to resist.
Our assessment is that within a few days, we will have no choice but to fully cease fire in Lebanon.
Despite the growing pressure, Israel's prime minister claims to be close to taking out Hezbollah while continuing the talks with Lebanese officials.
Our forces are continuing to strike Hezbollah. The fighting is focused on Bint Jbeil. Bint Jbeil was the capital of Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. This is the place where Hassan Nasrallah said 26 years ago, "The Israelis are cobwebs." We are about to overcome Bint Jbeil. We are, in effect, about to eliminate this great stronghold of Hezbollah.
Iran, for its part, has been a staunch supporter of Hezbollah and has maintained its importance for the region, even as there are murmurs within the mainstream Lebanese power setup of potentially disarming the group.
The completion and consolidation of a comprehensive ceasefire in Lebanon will be the result of the steadfastness and struggle of the esteemed Hezbollah and its heroic deeds, and the unity of the axis of resistance. And the United States must commit to the agreement.
Hezbollah fired more than 40 rockets at northern Israel on April 15th, sending barrages across the Galilee through the morning hours. Reports said an Israeli man was struck by shrapnel near Tamra. The IDF said that 2 rockets were intercepted, with the rest landing in open areas. The barrage came as Israeli ground forces pressed deeper into southern Lebanon. Soldiers from the Givati Brigade's reconnaissance unit cornered a Hezbollah cell in Bint Jbeil, forcing 3 operatives to lay down their weapons and surrender, including 1 member of the elite Radwan force. The captives were then transferred for questioning to Unit 504, the IDF's dedicated interrogation unit. According to Israeli media, IDF troops from the 8th Brigade also uncovered an anti-tank launcher in the area, pointed toward northern Israel, alongside a cache of missiles, grenades, explosive devices and ammunition. In a separate incident, Hezbollah attempted to storm an Israeli military position in the sector, but the Israelis repelled the raid before it reached the outpost. The fighting exacted a toll on the Israeli side as well. The commander of the 52nd Armoured Battalion, identified only as Lieutenant Colonel A under IDF censorship rules, was seriously wounded during operational activity in the Bint Jbeil sector and evacuated by helicopter to Rambam Hospital in Haifa.
We arrived with a lot of operational experience, and we are learning more and more about methods of operation. I have the best commanders and soldiers I could imagine. The decision to go into combat in Lebanon and Iran simultaneously is not self-evident, and it proves the strength of the IDF. We are writing history.
While soldiers fought on the ground, diplomats convened in Washington. On April 14th, Israeli and Lebanese ambassadors held talks at the US State Department alongside Secretary of State Marco Rubio, with Hezbollah's disarmament and a potential normalization agreement between the 2 countries both on the agenda. At least 10 Israeli soldiers have been wounded in intense clashes with Hezbollah fighters in the southern Lebanese town of Bint Jbeil, with 3 reported to be in serious condition. According to the Israeli army, the soldiers of the paratroopers brigade were taken to a hospital and their families were notified. The IDF said that 3 soldiers were listed in serious condition, 1 in moderate condition, and 6 were lightly hurt. Earlier, the Israeli army said on April 13th that 8 of its soldiers were wounded when an explosives-laden drone targeted its forces in southern Lebanon. It reported a total of 154 officers and soldiers injured in southern Lebanon since April 9th. Bint Jbeil, a Hezbollah stronghold, has been the focus of IDF operations in southern Lebanon in recent days. The operation is part of a broader effort to weaken Hezbollah's ability to launch attacks into northern Israel and establish a security buffer along the border. Hezbollah, for its part, continues to resist. The group has deployed rockets, drones, and anti-tank weapons against Israeli forces, targeting troops both inside and around Bint Jbeil. Reports indicate ongoing skirmishes and ambush-style attacks, slowing Israeli advances and underscoring the group's entrenched presence in the area. The broader conflict is also escalating beyond the town. Israel has carried out extensive airstrikes across southern Lebanon, while Hezbollah has continued launching rockets into northern Israel. The violence comes despite ongoing diplomatic efforts, with talks between Israel and Lebanon facing resistance, particularly from Hezbollah, which opposes negotiations without a ceasefire. Bint Jbeil's significance goes beyond immediate military gains. Often described as a symbolic center of Hezbollah's resistance, control of the town carries both strategic and psychological weight. Its capture would mark a major blow to the group's narrative and operational foothold in southern Lebanon. For now, the battle remains unresolved. Israeli forces are advancing, but Hezbollah continues to fight back. With casualties mounting on both sides and no ceasefire in place, Bint Jbeil has become a focal point in a widening conflict that risks drawing the region deeper into prolonged confrontation.